Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Before a single machine arrived, the mountain had to be measured with absolute precision. Every meter of rock was scanned to predict where the highway could survive. The first path existed only as painted lines hanging over open air.
Engineers tested the mountain layer by layer before any blasting could begin.
One mistake in explosive placement could collapse entire sections of mountain. Thousands of blast holes had to be drilled directly into the cliff walls. Controlled explosions would carve roads where nature never intended passage. Every fallen rock had to be removed before construction could advance. The mountain began to break apart under carefully engineered force. Temporary mountain roads became lifelines for the entire operation.
Entire work zones were suspended hundreds of meters above the valley floor. Before roads could be built, the cliffs themselves had to be restrained. Construction continued day and night to outrun weather and unstable terrain. Every machine and every material had to survive the mountain before construction could continue. What began as raw stone was slowly transforming into one of the world's most dangerous highways. Strict inspection systems controlled everything entering the unstable mountain zone. Without constant fuel delivery, the entire operation would stop within hours. Concrete had to reach the cliffs before hardening under changing mountain temperatures. Every structural beam moved with only centimeters separating disaster from success. Some locations were too dangerous, even for mountain roads. Mountain logistics demanded constant organization under brutal conditions. Thousands of workers traveled into the mountains before dawn every day.
Machines failing in the mountains had to be repaired immediately on site. An entire industrial ecosystem had formed inside the mountains.
At the center of the mountain operation stood a fully functioning industrial city.
Every worker entering the site passed through strict safety control.
Protection equipment became the only barrier between workers and the cliffs. Every machine leaving the yard had a specific mission in the mountains.
Millions of tons of concrete would eventually hold the highway against the cliffs.
Inside the workshops, raw steel was transformed into the mountain's backbone. Constant repairs kept the mountain operation alive. Engineers coordinated thousands of moving systems from a single command center.
Every controlled blast began inside tightly monitored storage systems.
The project depended on workers enduring long days in extreme conditions.
As daylight faded, another wave of workers entered the mountains.
Some sections of the highway would pass directly through the mountains themselves. From above, the scale of the operation stretched far beyond a single road. The mountain base had become one of the largest highway construction systems ever built.
Every fragment removed from the cliffs had to be sorted for stability and reuse.
The mountain itself became raw material for the highway foundation. Dust and unstable sediment had to be removed before the rock could be trusted.
Even processed stone required human inspection before entering structural systems.
Rain constantly threatened to erase weeks of progress. Water management became a permanent battle against the mountain. Deep inside the mountain, excavation never truly stopped. Steel reinforcement had to arrive in perfect sequence for continuous construction. Before reinforcement could begin, the mountain surface had to be stripped clean.
Even temporary forms demanded constant maintenance under harsh conditions.
Dust control protected both the workers and the machinery from the mountain itself.
Machines had to be cleaned daily to survive the brutal terrain.
Only after clearing and stabilizing the mountain could true construction finally begin. Every material had a precise destination somewhere in the mountains. The highway's survival depended on foundations anchored deep into the mountain. Steel skeletons were built to resist the mountain's constant pressure. Consistency is good. Make sure the surface is perfectly level. Stood Supervisor Chen. Temporary forms shaped the massive walls holding back entire mountain sides.
Inside the mountain, every tunnel required immediate reinforcement after excavation.
Fresh concrete layers stabilized rock before gravity could reclaim it.
Steel anchors tied the highway directly into the mountain's strongest layers.
Steady pressure, it's aligning. Confirmed, advancing now.
Some valleys were too wide for roads alone, demanding towering bridge systems. Steel connections had to withstand decades of mountain movement and vibration. Water hidden inside the mountain remained one of the project's greatest threats. The rough mountain shelf slowly began to resemble a real highway. Steel cables carried the weight of entire highway sections across open air. The mountain was no longer resisting the highway. It was beginning to support it. What started as raw cliffs had become one of the largest engineered mountain systems on Earth. The mountain road now entered its final transformation into a real highway. Every load of asphalt had to arrive at the exact temperature for paving. For the first time, vehicles could imagine crossing these mountains safely. The impossible highway had become a living system inside the mountains.
A national achievement, every surface is flawless.
The final test was real movement through the mountains,